From an electric heated carpet to a crazy and efficient keyboard, sometimes it seems like other countries get all the cool stuff. So here's a list of the top 20 weirdest products you need from other countries. Number 20. Condiment tubes in Scandinavia. In Scandinavian countries like Sweden, a wide variety of foods come in toothpaste-like tubes. Mustard and mayo are two examples of things I'm used to seeing in bottles. You could even get several kinds of cheese and bubblegum in a tube. As it turns out, the Scandinavians have the right idea. Because the product is squeezed out, very little air gets in the tube, making the food stay fresh for longer. This leads to less waste and less of that dried mustard crust on the outside of the bottle. However, I'm not sure I'd want to eat all the things they put in tubes in Sweden. They can keep that anchovy cream. It sounds a little fishy to me. Number 19. Funky drink flavors. Japan has an interesting selection of sodas I'd like to try, particularly Pepsi varieties. A few years ago, they introduced a salty watermelon Pepsi, which would sound like an expensive cocktail if it wasn't for the Pepsi part. Just the name makes my mouth water. The soda giant also thought Japanese consumers might enjoy Ice Cucumber Pepsi, which was introduced in 2007. It's definitely one I'd like my taste buds to experience. In 2011, they released Pepsi Pink, which is a strawberry and milk flavored beverage, which I'm guessing would taste glorious, a little like a carbonated strawberry milkshake. Number 18. Japanese vending machines. Sodas aside, Japan is known for the wide variety of other products you could purchase in vending machines. Called Jito Hanbaiki, these vending machines offer everything from eggs to hamburgers to beer. Forgot your necktie and need to get to a meeting? Just grab a new one from a vending machine. They even sell a barely legal mix of Dapo herbs that promise a few hours of interesting experiences. Stay away from these machines though, as one woman died after smoking a batch in 2012. Number 17. Mellow cabs. I'm used to calling an Uber when I need a ride, but in South Africa, you could just use a mellow cab. Invented by South African serial entrepreneur Neil Duprez, the mellow cabs are yellow pedicabs, small, pedal-operated vehicles that allow the driver to sit back comfortably while pedaling. This one also has electric wheel hub motors, so you can reach your destination faster than you would on a bicycle. They're great for commuters who need to transport at the beginning or end of their journey, usually within a 3-kilometer radius. This isn't like riding a bike. Users get to ride in style thanks to Mellowcab's proprietary technology. It has regenerative braking, hydrogen fuel cells, a human-powered charging station for tablets and computers, and an augmented reality facility. Try getting that in an Uber. Number 16. Clever ironing board. When I'm short on space, I often solve my problem by kicking everything under the bed. But a South Korean inventor had a better idea, an ironing board that folds up and hangs on the wall. But it's not awkward, because the bottom of the ironing board is actually a mirror. Users can iron their clothes and see how they look in them. Number 15. Clever bench. South Korea is also home to the rolling bench. No, it doesn't roll away like a bed. The bench itself is made of wooden slats on a cylinder that turns with a crank. If it rains, you simply turn the crank and roll away the wet side, exposing the dry surface. Now, if only I could get a floor that did that every time I spill something. Number 14. Amazing cake cutter. Cake is a big deal in Finland, but the Finnish people don't have to deal with cutting a piece of cake, then struggling to get it on a plate before it falls apart. The Magiso cake server is curved, and even though it's closed on both ends, it acts like tweezers, so you could squeeze the slice of cake as you remove it. It also cuts a piece of variable sizes. It's perfect for when you're on a diet, if you only want a little piece. Number 13. Champagne-flavored stuff. I like to live a champagne lifestyle on a beer budget. That's why I'll need to move to Denmark where they sell champagne soda. Even better, you don't have to be 21 to buy it. The bad news, there's not actually any alcohol in it. But what if you're in the mood for a frozen treat? Champagne and chocolate-flavored popsicles are also common. Denmark may have just the right amount of luxury for my budget. Number 12. Whiskey-flavored condoms. For a slightly more sophisticated and adult gift, go to Scotland, land of Scotch whiskey-flavored condoms. They're called McCondoms. even though they have nothing to do with that one place that sells burgers and fries. Come to think of it, that would make a great prize to put in an adult Happy Meal. Number 11, Utes. I've heard of the Mini Cooper, but what about a mini pickup truck? In Australia, these are known as Utes. Much smaller than a typical truck, they're similar to an El Camino, which fell out of popularity in America decades ago. They remained a trend in Australia and eventually evolved into having a pickup-style rear. Often this has a cover, so it operates like a trunk. Some Utes have even popped up in America thanks to a Colorado company that pitches them as modern El Caminos. Some critics call them the mullet of the automobile world. However, fans love the design and size of the cute Ute. Number 10, Mosquito Oil. One thing we don't find cute: mosquitoes. Neither do people in Spain, where they have a handy plug-in mosquito oil device. With prolethrin, an ingredient that keeps a room free of bugs, it's like a nightlight to drive away those flying, blood-sucking monsters. Number 9, Heated Carpet. My bedroom would also be more comfortable with this electric heated carpet available in Japan. No need to step on a cold floor anymore. It's made by Panasonic, and the temperature can be adjusted up to 114 degrees. Not only is it stain resistant, it's also waterproof. Number 8, Home Dry Cleaning Machine. I can't tell you how many times I've wished I had a dry cleaning machine at home, usually right after I spill something on a dry clean only shirt. In Japan, my clumsiness would be easier to deal with because they have the Aqua Home Dry Cleaning Machine. It's front-loading and uses bacteria-killing chemicals to clean your clothes. So despite the ironic name of Aqua, there's no water required to use the machine. Number 7, Futuristic Door. This Japanese door looks like something you'd see on Star Trek, an automatic door that doesn't just slide out of the way, but opens just enough for your size and shape to get through. Designed by Tanaka Sasakusho, the door is made up of stripes and uses infrared sensors to determine the size and shape of the person, animal, or object about to pass through. The door also has a security feature that identifies people and can refuse to open for those not on the owner's list. Aside from keeping out people you don't want to socialize with, the door also reduces the amount of pesky things like pollen, bugs, and dirt that can get in through ordinary doors. Number 6, Chestnut Paste. If you love Nutella, get ready for the French version, chestnut paste. Called crème de marron de Ardèche, it's been popular in France since the late 1800s. The paste is made from steamed chestnuts, chestnut flakes, sugar, and vanilla. Like the hazelnut spread Nutella, it can be spread on toast or crepes, since this is France. It's also sometimes used as a topping for ice cream or spread between layers of cake. While it has a delicious taste on your tongue, unfortunately, the name doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Nutella does. Number 5, Funky Chip Flavors. I thought American potato chip flavors were getting ridiculous, with Lay's encouraging consumers to submit new flavors, like chicken and waffles. But apparently, they've got nothing on British potato chips. Walker's makes a cheddar cheese and bacon chip, as well as a sweet chili chicken and Builder's breakfast, which apparently tastes like a full English breakfast. Wait, does that logo look familiar to anyone else? If so, it's because Lay's bought Walker's and rebranded it in 1989. They decided to keep the old name to ensure brand loyalty in the UK, but that didn't stop them from sending some of their famously crazy flavors overseas. Meanwhile, Yorkshire Crisps are offering Chardonnay wine vinegar chips because that just sounds so much more sophisticated than salt and vinegar, like we call them on this side of the pond. I'm not sure I'm suave enough to eat those, but I'll definitely be avoiding the haggis and black pepper flavor from Mackey's. Number 4, Toilet Sinks. I have to applaud Japan for a few more amazing products, starting with their toilet technology. Japanese toilets are known for having a lot of buttons, and this one even features a bidet that plays music to drown out the sound of the user taking care of business. There's also this amazing sink-toilet combo, where the sink is built on top of the toilet, and the wastewater flows down and collects in the cistern. Then when you flush the toilet, the water you use to wash your hands is recycled in the toilet for your next flush. Now that's smart. Number 3, Smart Trains. Japan is also known for its fast, efficient, and comfortable bullet trains, which we really need. Some even have onboard spas to help people relax during their trip. In 2014, JR East launched the first bullet train with 2-foot spas, each of which seat 4 people. Travelers are allowed to soak their toes for 15 minutes per trip. Number 2. Street crossings. This is another thing the Japanese have figured out pretty well. At home, we can usually only cross from one street to another, so if we need to get across to another street diagonally, we need to cross 2 streets. In Japan, though, they have diagonal street crossings to make it all so much more efficient. The most famous one is the Shibuya crossing, which is Tokyo's most iconic intersection, and you can see why they need it, because it gets bombarded by thousands of people every day. Number 1. Crazy keyboard. And the first prize goes, once again, to Japan for this drum set. Wait, what's that again? No, it's not just a drum set, it's a keyboard. This is a bit complicated and was developed by the Google Japanese Input Development Team in an attempt to make the keyboard more efficient. Although not currently widespread, the keyboard may be helpful if you type in Japanese. According to Japanese reports, banging on these sets of keys in a pattern is so much simpler than using a standard QWERTY keystroke. So instead of having to press conversion keys all the time, characters can be inputted much faster. It also supports emoticons, so you can easily express your feeling with a single shot. And to save you from stretching to hit the keys, they use a sort of drumstick to hit the keys. But forget that, where do I find the delete key on this thing? Because I'm pretty sure I'm going to need it. So if you stumble upon a Japanese office of drummers, they're likely just using the computer. The team explains that they plan to sell these directly as soon as possible. Which product would you most like to have? What weird products have you seen in other countries? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thanks for watching.